What up, though? The music scene. We got all the action, all the smoke. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell to be notified when we drop another banger. We got a big banger here. Check this out. Now, this topic I'm about to touch on, I think this is a great topic and it's fitting for us to discuss today. Because y'all like to accuse me of being a snitch, rat, dry snitch. So we're going to jump into this conversation pretty much about snitching and ratting. So check it out. The subjects at hand is King Earner and Beanie Sigel. Now, if y'all been watching King Earner, if y'all know who he is, I'll give you a brief summary of who he is. So he's a YouTuber. So he has a channel where he snatches people honor. So basically what that is anybody he see that consider themselves a criminal or street dude, he snatched their honor if they was ratting or, did something similar to telling. So he do this thing where he say they have no more honor. They're not an honorable man. He snatched their honor. He has this campaign he called Honor Your Life campaign. So it's supposed to be for the youth and you're supposed to steer them in the right direction, steer them away from the streets. Questions that I want to pose. First of all, what is snitching? Because people have a lot of different definitions. I heard from the most civil to the most gangster. People give all different types of definitions, whether it be if you on a lick with somebody, you get caught and you tell, or you just see something and you tell, or if you tell somebody something then they end up telling, like all types of stuff. Like, what do y'all think it is? I want y'all to, each question that I pose, I got a few questions I'm gonna pose through this video, but I want y'all to answer each of them in the video so we kind of get some understanding on it. So tell me, what do y'all really think, in y'all honest opinion, what snitching is? So then the next question is, where do y'all think snitching came from? Do y'all think it was something derived from just the streets, something that the people made, the black people made it, minorities made it? Do y'all think it's a different group of people made it? Y'all think it was some type of system, or maybe the government made it? Y'all think maybe somebody infiltrated the system to use it as a weapon to keep the neighborhoods down? Think about it like this. If you see a great thriving neighborhood, a rich neighborhood, 9 times out of 10, people in the community is not going by no street rules or street codes, no snitching code. If they see something bad going on in the neighborhood, they're going to tell. Somebody pissing or putting graffiti on the wall of the streets, they're going to tell. If they see somebody get mugged, they're going to tell. If they see somebody breaking into somebody's house or burning somebody's house down, they're going to tell. Now, us in the black community and a lot of minorities in impoverished communities, we somehow subjected to these codes and rules. And so we see all this type of stuff that bring down the value of the neighborhood and mess up the neighborhood. We just stay quiet because majority of the people are connected to people who will be considered people that should be subjected to those type of rules and code, i.e. criminals, gangsters, scammers, or whatever. And so, where do y'all think it came from? Do y'all think it's something that we should hold on to, like we made it ourselves, like a law? Or is it something that somebody that we don't even know where it came from, but we abiding by it? Okay, so let's get into this King Earner and Beanie Sigel thing. So basically it's probably been out for years that allegedly Beanie Sigel somehow snitched. So y'all know Beanie Sigel background, Philadelphia. He's with state property, The Rock. Anybody know his history going way back, his different criminal, rendezvous, shootout with police and bar fights, all types of stuff. Like, pretty much that, he was like a bully. They called him the Broad Street Bully. Broad Street in Pennsylvania is where he got the name from. But anyway, in the industry and out the industry, he was kicking up dust. So y'all know he's a practicing Muslim now in his deen. But anyway, so allegedly when Beanie Sigel was shot, he was trying to sue the police or the police department, I guess saying like they was corrupt or doing something they weren't supposed to do. So he said he was not trying to do anything to get anybody put in jail. Like basically it might have been just more so for getting money. Now see, King Earner and Beanie Sigel had a phone conversation after King Earner accused Beanie Sigel of being a rat. They just had a phone conversation which King Earner put on his YouTube page, allegedly talking to Beanie Sigel. Beanie Sigel was explaining what happened, and somebody else was on the phone with Beanie Sigel. I don't know if it was a lawyer or something like that. But anyway, they was saying that it was a civil case, so nobody was going to go to jail behind it. They wasn't pushing for anybody to go to jail, or even saying that anybody pointing any finger at anybody. Beanie Sigel said he never had his name and paperwork or been on the stand or pointing his finger at anybody or saying somebody done anything. He said what he said was when he got shot, the police that was an undercover should never been brandishing his weapon, and so somehow the police had the gun or maybe gave the gun to somebody. But anyway, he don't know who shot him. But he's saying that they already knew that the gun was the police gun, or the police got shot. So whoever shot the police must shot him and shot the police. It was something like that. But basically, what he said was he never pointed his finger at anybody or anything like that. He said basically he just was saying that the officer shouldn't be acting in the way that he was acting. So King Erner point of view was it didn't really matter. The thing is that he's talking, period. That's what your lawyer is for, that you shouldn't say anything. So Beanie Sigel tried to get an example of what if you had a job and you slip and you fall. Now you might want to sue the company or whatever. So King Ernest said, or would somebody potentially get fired or go to jail, go to jail behind it, then you don't say anything or whatever. Beanie Sigel, I guess, just was like, no, that's not the same thing. So King Erner go and say, well, that's the same thing Freeway Ricky Ross did. The police who was setting him up or snitching on him, he turned and said, pretty much that he was telling on them, which I don't really agree with that, because he just pretty much, what he said, he defended himself saying that it wasn't true, that they was lying. But King Erner, still was hard on Freeway Ricky Ross and said pretty much that's still snitching. Now, it has to be a limit. Like, you can't just be snitching, just can't be like anything you do just can't be snitching. And so I got another question. What makes you a criminal? Because they say you have to be a criminal to pretty much be under those laws, those rules, those street rules. So what makes you a criminal? If you do a crime once, does that make you a criminal? I'll give you an example. Just say you a civilian, you consider yourself a civilian, and you go steal something from a store, I need to feed my family. Or you just go to sell drugs once. You know somebody that, you cool with, homie on the block, and you just say, give me some little weed. Let me get some weed for I can flip it, maybe some money for my family or whatever. So you don't consider yourself a criminal or whatever, or a gangster, but you just happen to do a crime, which will make you technically a criminal. So does that mean you're subjected to the rules of the street just because of that? Or do you have to be full-fledged and saying, like, I'm a gangster and specifically that I go by these rules? And so, if so, you get to choose to what extent of the rules you go to. Say, for instance, you in the streets, you live by those rules, and somebody mug your mama. And another street person, a criminal, who you would say subjected to those rules and codes, if they just, police be like, so what happened? We talking and the person just be like, oh yeah, it was some car that pulled up, the guy just whipped out on his chick. I don't know, neither the lady or the people, it whipped out on his chick or whatever and it snatched her purse. Okay, so would that be snitching? Would that be too much? So if King Erner had to answer that about somebody bugging his mom, do you think he would still call that person a rat and be like, still had to snatch that person's honor? Do you think it would be he had that same type of energy? So, just get in the comments and let me know, answer these questions. This is a big, big thing because it's something that plagues the community. It's something that people don't really know what to do with. We don't even know where it came from. In my strong opinion, I just think that it should be accepted as part of the streets. I don't think that it should be looked at no worse than somebody just willingly being in the continual life of crime for no reason. And the reason I say that because I don't want to judge. You don't know people's situation. Sometimes people feel like they have to do it. But sometimes people just be greedy. Sometimes people just murder and they don't even be called for. Sometimes people put, fentanyl and different stuff in the work that make it bad and they kill people. Like they don't care. They just want the strongest product as possible and they don't care who died behind it. So different stuff that don't have to be done to make some money or whatever. I think that's just heinous. So I would consider stuff like that is no worse or just as worse as snitching because this is a dirty game, so that gonna come with it. You just gotta know what you're doing or as much as possible or just don't play. You should just know what come with it. And so Freeway Ricky Ross even said that, that he wouldn't even be like looking to get retaliation if he seen people who snitched on him or whatever because he didn't know then But that's just a part of, the game. It's probably been a part of the game since the whole time. So going back to King Erner, when he put how much emphasis on people that told, he put that much emphasis on people who did the crime. There are Ab and OBH and stuff like that. A lot of them went down. So it's federal, and he got convicted. So pretty much they saying like it's true what the stuff that they alleged he did. Selling drugs and racketeering and all that stuff. And so, do we see King Erner condemning him? Nope. He even justified what Dark Low did. So Dark Low, he had an interview with the police, and he pretty much, owned up to a gun being his that, they found in his house. And so King Erner said he didn't break a code, he broke a rule. Pretty much just talking, he broke a rule, but he didn't break a code. And so it's kind of hypocritical, because when he talked about Beanie Sigel, when he say he not supposed to say anything, period, that's for his lawyers. And even though he didn't say anything that was condemning, or let's say that would be putting somebody behind bars or pointing a finger to saying they done what they done, but he's saying the police, shouldn't have been brandishing a weapon or whatever. And so he just say that's just straight up just ratting. So Dark Low basically ratted out himself, because if you say that that's my gun or whatever, you talk and you gave up the information. See, he used to be around them, and so he just pretty much threw it under the rug. And so what y'all think about that? Get in the comments and let me know. And also, I keep getting these phone calls. I'm about to cut this short, but just get in the comments and let me know what y'all think. TheMusicScene, I'm out.